everyone. I'm Dr. Joanne Preston, a 5-year member of the board of the Arlington Housing Authority, the vice president of the Arlington Housing Authority Charitable Foundation, and a town meeting member. Let's begin with the Arlington Housing Authority and what it does. It is a state-funded and regulated agency. These 240 state housing authorities provide safe, clean housing for low-income families, seniors, and those with disabilities, the vast majority of whom are women. What have I accomplished as a member? We've been very productive. After joining, I was soon joined on the board with Fiorella Badia, who is the tenant representative. Then we hired Jack Nagel as the new executive director. All working together, we made great progress in renovating our buildings and won a state award. I shared my experience and expertise as a grant writer, which I gained as a faculty member at Harvard and Brandeis University. For instance, I secured $2.5 million in funding for new windows in the family housing, and I raised $20,000 for the Arlington Housing Authority Charitable Foundation. I've worked hard over these years on projects to directly improve the lives of our tenants. When residents of a senior housing complex informed me that they were afraid to cross Chestnut Street to attend church and shop, I took the lead in advocating for pedestrian safety measures, and the town installed a blinking light and narrowed the street. There are many issues facing AHA renovating our aging buildings. Since the 1980s, the state-operated budget has been inadequate for major renovation projects. Our aging residents in senior housing increasingly need handicapped accessible apartments, and we have an increase in those with physical disabilities. We need more health services for our residents, especially mental health services. When the state closed the mental hospitals, many with mental health challenges became homeless. Some were able to find housing in AHA, yet they lacked any form of treatment. If re-elected, I'd like to approach neighboring universities and hospitals with training programs. Since the need is so great, why does the Arlington Housing Authority not increase the number of units in public housing? In the 1980s, the state turned away from funding public housing and said it would not increase the operating budget if local public housing authorities built additional units. If we had 200 units and then added 50 more, the state would only fund the operation of the original 200, not the additional 50. We cannot build what we cannot fund. Still, we have done some workarounds, like putting aside funds each year to purchase single condominiums, and our maintenance people bring them up to code. This is called scattered site housing. We have also acquired one small building for the Chapter 689 public housing program and are now building a second on the front lawn of Chestnut Manor. They are for adults with special needs who require 24-hour supervision. There is a new possibility to use our real estate at Drake Village to fund the replacement of 72 units of public housing, which are not repairable. But this is replacement, not an increase in the number of public housing units, although we might build other housing. How will costs and federal funding affect the Arlington Housing Authority? Remember, the AHA is a state-funded program. Federal funds are not part of our regular budget, although we do manage 2 federal programs related to public housing. I would prefer grant funding options to replace these programs. In closing, we've made substantial improvements in building and preserving tenant services. I played an active part both in working with the board and individual initiatives such as grant writing. Still, there is much to be done. I am Joanne Preston. I respectfully ask your vote for re-election to the board. Thank you.